So learn that. Let me erase this right here. Somtun and then Kokala at 4, and we have DAAL. Then it goes on to say it's not over yet. Can I erase this? Could you erase this for me, please? And then it says, but when reciting Al-Quran, a rule you must adhere. When the DAAL comes after an, ikhfa'u must be there. What does he say? But when reciting Al-Quran, what is he talking about now? But he's talking about the science of what? Tajweed. Understand, we're dropping everything down to its proper science. Because in learning the alphabet, we learn that the alphabet is used in different formats for different reasons. Thank you very much. So he says now, we've described to you how to pronounce DAAL. Everybody say id. What are you doing? You're taking a tip and upper part of that thing you call tongue, and you're placing it on your two buck teeth, and you're pressing it on your two buck teeth, and you're placing it on your gums, right? And then you're using those sifat, strength, opening up your mouth, restraining it through your nose, and pronouncing the letter DAAL. However, when you're reciting Quran, and in the Quran, the rules of tajweed surround what letter? Noon, noon, a sakina, or tanween. Dammatan, what is it? Kasratan, or open up your mouths, guys. You know this, right? So that's the rules of tajweed surround that noon, a sakina, or tanween. And when that's the case, what does it mean by that? He explains it here in a subtle format. So, wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. He explains that to you here by telling you what about that noon is sakin. He says, when the DAAL comes after an, when the DAAL is coming and then there's a noon there, then what you need to know is that this is going to be pronounced with ikhfa, meaning the noon is going to be pronounced with ikhfa. Okay? That letter, not the DAAL, the noon is going to, and then you'll learn that in tajweed, what that means. Okay? What we're going to do here is write it down. But when, recite please, reciting Al-Quran, a rule you must adhere. The implied speech is adhere to. Okay? When the DAAL comes after N. What does he mean here about his N? This is the N sound. Whether it's N, in, or un. Okay? Or whether it's noon. Just like that. Meaning in, an, or un. Whatever that sound comes. You with me, everybody? Whenever you hear that sound, when the DAAL comes after that sound, ikhfa'u must be there. Ikhfa'u must be there. Okay, and then they said you must hear. Ikhfa'u, you must hear. Or ikhfa'u must be there. And ikhfa'u is a tajweed rule. Okay? We're not learning tajweed right now, so we're not going to get into this explaining what ikhfa is in detail. Okay? Is that all right? You guys are a little sick? No, just reserved today. Okay. When you finish writing this on the board, let me know. Is it understandable, though? Is everything understandable? You guys really have to try to do your best to review this at home and utilize it, because it's a simple thing to pronounce the letters. It just takes a minute and you learn where the makhraj is and you get to practice that. But practicing it makes perfect. I mean, and practicing it makes perfect. However, if you are ever in doubt in knowing what are the set rules for these letters, then you just come back to your text and review it. Okay, and in it you'll find all the things that you need to find for the utilization of that letter or in other things that you may need. So don't gaff this off. Don't waste time now not learning this so that it won't be perfect. It becomes part and parcel of you now. You will be amazed at how much it'll help you in other sciences where you don't have to go back to look for the text to find what it means. It's in there. You already know. Do you understand that? So some people, I remember being in Egypt in a place called Kafr al-Sheikh. Kafr al-Sheikh is a real far from the cities. And there was a sheikh there who had studied in Maghrib, and he learned the Abjad, Hawaz, Huttiya, Kaliman. He had done that type of thing. And he was trying to teach it to all his students. And there was a few people like myself who had been in Maghrib, and we had learned this also. Actually, Sheikh Muqbil, rahimahullah, he wrote a book on this, and I used that in doing the research for these classes, because he speaks about how this has dropped from the study curriculum of the modern day Talibul Ilm. Okay? And in the room, he couldn't find anybody except the people that had studied in Maghrib that knew this. And so they had to go and try something that takes 5 seconds for somebody. They had to go and find a book from the shelf to go find out and learn about different things like that. Whereas other people who had memorized it in ibtida'iyya, in their beginning levels, you know, they were able to just take and start writing. Okay? So there's this time. Don't waste your time. You know, benefit as much as you can. Does that make sense? All right. So, ikhfa is a tajweed rule that we use when we get there to study of tajweed. And this is everything I have to offer about the letter DAAL. Do I have any questions about DAAL? No questions about DAAL? Okay, then we're going to move on to the second part of this lesson, which is, could you erase the board for me, please? Here. Oh, you got that. Here. The second part of this lesson is dealing with that text that we know as Al-Ajrumiyyah. Everybody say Al-Ajrumiyyah. Al-Ajrumiyyah is the scientific breakdown of the Arabic language through its grammar. Okay? Through its grammar. And it's a nice, easy text. Take that off too, the Alif Ba Jim. It's a very easy text. It is very detailed. So we just do a little by little. Every day we do a line so that we can get through it eventually. And again, it's one of those types of texts, if you pay attention to it and you master its little parts, it'll help you do anything you need to do later on in your sciences, in any one of your sciences, in reading Quran and talking Arabic and studying usul al-fiqh or any one of the great sciences, usul al-hadith or actual hadith, you'll use this text. Okay? It says, فَالِاسْمُ بِالْخَفْضِ وَبِالتَّنْوِينِ أَوْ دُخُولِ أَلْ يُعْرَفُ فَقْفُ مَا كَفَاوْ. فَالِاسْمُ بِالْخَفْضِ. Everybody say بِالْخَفْضِ. وَبِالتَّنْوِينِ. وَبِالتَّنْوِينِ أَوْ دُخُولِ الْأَلْ يُعْرَفُ فقف ما كفاو. And this was where we did last week, right? We start with, first the text starts, who can recite the text from the beginning?